Hi everyone and welcome to Triple M Adventures with Bill. This video is to go through the things I have to do to get my new Diatone Tina Whoop into the air. This is not really a review of it because I'm not an expert on quads yet, but I will get there. But let's just open up and have a look, see what we've got in there. Okay, we've got the little quad, which is in, I think, isn't this a dead cat? Yeah, I think it's dead cat. Let's just have a look at the specs. It has a Runcam Nano 2. The VTX goes up to 400 milliwatts, and it's got Mamba 1103 12,000 kV motors, and it's got an all-in-one. It's a Mamba F411, and it takes 2S batteries up to 550 milliamp hour. I think I've got 450 milliamp hours that I'm going to use in it. Right, let's have a quick look just to see what we get in there. They do give you some more ducts, but I'm a bit confused by why they're different colours. I suppose maybe someone wants to go psychedelic on it and have different colours. But all that's so that you then go, oh, I'd like green, which is green. I would then go and buy the green ducts. Let's take a look inside. See what else we've got here. Oh, lots of things. Okay, we've got extra screws. We put those down there. And a little screwdriver, which is quite neat, if I can get it out of the packet. A tiny little screwdriver. Some more spare screws. They only give you 4 props, but I suppose as it's got ducts on it, they will be quite protected. They're 4-blade. You've got the RXSR connector there, because they actually solder up a plug already, and because I converted my Taycan to Crossfire, I've got a spare RXSR receiver, so I'll just be able to plug this in. So we're going to have a look at that in a minute. We'll see how I fit the receiver in and get it set up. So there's the little plug that it comes with, so you can do that without having to solder. Then there's a bag with an adapter so that you can get to the USB. I'm not sure where that is. Let me have a look. It must be in a difficult position. Yes, it is. You're not going to be able to see this, I don't think, but it's just there. So you need that L-shaped connector to be able to get to it. It looks like it's... that's interesting. I think that's just a... No, it isn't. It's USB-C at the end. Normal USB that plugs into the actual quad, and then a USB-C, which I have that cable. And then you get some cable ties, and it looks like there's a buzzer. Yes, there's a buzzer. It comes with a buzzer as well that you can install. And then you've got your instructions. Here we go. Okay, they specifically give you the prop direction, and looks like a schematic of the actual quad itself. Let's have a look. Yes, just shows you how it goes together. Alrighty, right. Let's switch over to the quad, and we'll install the receiver. Now let's take a look at putting the RSXR receiver into the Tina Whoop. Now what I've decided, because there's the plug I need to plug into, and I've now put the supplied lead onto the receiver. This is already bound to my radio, but we'll go through that a bit later, so I don't need to get to it so that I have to bind it. Because it was already in the Taycan, it's already bound to my multi-protocol module. Well, it should still be, so we'll try that. So what I planned on doing, I've put some double-sided tape on the back there, and I'm going to stick it to the flight controller. It will have to be, I think, that way round so that the antennas come out the back. So let's have a look to see if we can do this. So we first need to get this plug to come underneath. Let me use the little screwdriver that they supplied and pull this through. Okay, I don't want to push anything too badly. Oops. There we go. Okay, now let's put it out so I can see it. So now I'm going to be able to push this. Let's just pull this over this way a bit. Okay, so it's out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's just check again to see roughly where I need to stick this so that the antennas just come. No, they'll be fine. So it's level with the front of the... So this might be a bit tricky. So I've got to peel off the double-sided tape and get this inside without it sticking to everything else. Let's see how I managed to do this. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to get some tweezers. Okay, tweezers should help me. So let's... Okay, pause back. Okay, we're going to try it. Push this through there. If we can grab it, there we go. Okay, that's about right. Hopefully you can see this. So I'm going to push that there, and then I'm just going to push down. There you go. This is good tape. I buy this tape in South Africa. It's this one here, and it's actually very sticky, and it works nicely. So if you want to get a receiver out, it's not going to rip everything apart. But there we go. I think that should be okay. That should be fine. So then we can connect up the receiver here. Okay, fiddly fiddly. There we go. Everything's in properly. And before we do tuck this in, so I'm happy with that. That's stuck down okay. I'm going to get the antennas. I'll do it the other side of that wire. Okay, this gets a bit tricky trying to do it so it stays in front of the camera. Let's have a look. I think you develop your skills with RC planes working with fiddly little things. There we go, just pull that through. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is get these through. So I'm going to stop the camera so that I can remove this little TPU printed holder here, and so I can get the wires through. Okay, that was quite a fiddly job, but I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this, but I've stuck the receiver just onto the flight controller. I've put the two wires for the antenna coming out the back there. There's no straws supplied, but they're not going to get into the props, so I don't think that's a problem. And then I've pulled the plug and put it over to the side so that when I put the strap back through, it doesn't touch any of those wires. So we should be good to go there. So the next thing to do is to set it up on my radio, which I'll show you. All I'm going to do is copy my Taycan over to another model, and then I'm going to alter it to match up with this quadcopter. Okay. Now let's set up the Tina Whoop on my radio. I'm just going to copy the Taycan, and then I'll do the adjustments I need for that particular whoop. So I'm going to go model select by pushing enter, and again, whoopsie daisy. Now I want to copy the Taycan, so I'm going to say duplicate model. Okay, so we're now down on the duplicated one. I want to push enter.
Disarm motors.
Okay, and then what I'm going to do is go into the settings, and I'm going to change, whoops daisy, too far. We're going to turn crossfire. We're going to turn the external module off. We're going to turn the internal module on. Okay, so we need to find the FrSky protocol, which is, there we go, FrSky X2, which is the firmware that's on the receiver in my Tina Whoop. Now it's already been bound, so this is where we click receiver number, and we just change that. And the frequency fine tune on this one, I've actually written it down somewhere. Let me check, because I can add that in. I don't need to redo that. Okay, I'll have to find that and then I can put that figure in. But let's see, we can now test and see if this is working. So, okay, we can plug the little quad in. Let's plug it in. There we go. And I didn't even have to bind it, which is quite a cool feature of OpenTX. Okay, now we can test. I heard it, it's obviously connected. So let's just go to telemetry. This is a telemetry receiver. And let's go to discover new sensors. And there we go. Everything's working. We've got RSSI at 102 decibels. Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, so we know everything on that side of things is working. Now what we need to do is plug it into Betaflight and check that everything is working, because obviously if I do armed, it's not actually arming. Okay, but we need to go and set it up in Betaflight. I'm going to check the settings. Let me just stop this from looking for sensors. Whoops-a-daisy, too fast. And there we go. So there will be a few other adjustments I need to make on here, of course, and that we put the picture on. I have changed the name, but anyway, the basics is set up there for this new quadcopter. Now let's plug the Tina Whoop into Betaflight. Okay, let's plug the quad in. There we go, connect. Now the first thing we should do is to save the CLI file. So we are going to go down to CLI and everything's good, and we're going to go dump all. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's everything. Now we want to save to a file. Okay, I'm going to open up a new folder for Diatone Tina Whoop. Okay, just click on there, Diatone Tina Whoop, and we are going to save that there. So let me just go and check. And we'll just open up that, and we should have all the settings. There we go, it should be everything. So if we get a problem, we can go back and restore the original settings. That's great. Okay, so that's the first thing that we need to do. All right, let's go back into Betaflight. Let's go to settings. Okay, we're going to have to reconnect. Okay, you can see here that the accelerometer is not quite right. I've got the quad on a flat surface, so let's just do that. Click that button. Okay, that's it. That looks good. Okay, there we go. And we're now going to move on to ports. Now, as far as I can see, the ports are okay. And we're going to go to config. And here. Now, I'm not an expert on this stuff, so I'm going to leave it all as the standard settings in here. The only thing I would change is the name of the craft. Let me call it TMA Tina Whoop. There we go. And everything else should be okay. Okay, OSD is switched on, and okay, there we go. Let's just save and reboot. Okay, go back. Let's just check that the name has changed. Yeah, we changed the name. Now if we go to power and battery, I'm going to come back in here later. Once I've done the first flights, I'll come and calibrate the battery, but I won't do that till I actually fly the quad. Let's go to failsafe, and failsafe is set to drop. Okay, that's great. That's what I need it to do. And PID tuning. Now PID tuning, I'm far off being able to do play around with any of this, so I'll keep it as standard for now. Now let's take a look at the receiver tab. Okay, I'm going to turn my radio on.
Welcome to OpenTX.
And you can see I've got a problem. Oh, there we go. Yes. And you can see, yes, we have got a problem because that is my roll. That is yours, so that's fine. But my throttle and they're reversed. Now the reason for that is the channel mapping is incorrect, so we need to change that. And my channel mapping should be, we just need to type it into here, T-A-E-R, T-A-E-R, and then save. And now there we go, roll, pitch, yaw, and throttle. Okay, that should be everything in there. I will adjust the endpoints later because that's a bit of a process and I don't want to do that on this video. But what I can put in are the stick low threshold, which I am going to change to 1010, and the high stick threshold, I'm going to make that 1990. 1990. There we go, and we're going to save. Right, the next thing we're going to move on to is the modes. You can see that there's only armed and air mode set up, so let's unhide. Now we need angle, so we are going to put range, and that is going to be set up onto this switch. So if you go to auto, and there you go, it's picked it up, aux2. Right, that's great. And then let's go to horizon, and we're going to again, this will be here. There we go. So that's set up the modes. Now we need to put them in the right order. So the switch position forward would be acro. Then we go mid position, be angle, horizon would be the switch fully back. Okay, the arm switch is working. There we go. Armed. Okay. Now let's have a look. Beeper. Now we can add range. Now my beeper should be on
Buzzer.
There we go. So it's picked up the buzzer. Okay, that's for my beeper. And then flip over after crash. Okay, so that should be
Turbo mode on.
okay.
Turbo mode on. Turbo mode off.
Okay, turtle.
Turbo mode on. Turbo mode off.
So
Turbo mode on.
we need to move this so that it's active. I think that will be fine. Let's just test it again.
Mode off. Turbo mode on.
Okay, that should be everything that we need to set up. Let me go and hide the ones I'm not using. So let's check again. Armed,
Disarm motors.
acro,
Angle mode.
angle mode, horizon mode,
Acro.
and the beeper.
Buzzer.
Okay, air mode. Let's disconnect and reconnect. There we go. We should be good to go on the modes. Right, motor test. Let's do a motor test. Okay, the props are off. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's do them. Okay, that's good. Let's turn that off. The OSD, let's go have a look at OSD. And I think I'm just going to leave this standard for now. What have we got? Low voltage warning. We haven't got RSSI. So let's just go down and add that. That's an important one. RSSI. Let's put that up there for now. Okay. And the video transmitter, I think, is all set up. Let's have a look. Yeah, the VTX table is in there. Okay. All right, let's just save. Okay, I'm going to disconnect now, and we'll check the OSD is working. I just want to finish up by showing you the RSSI setup in Betaflight. So we go back to the quad. You can see that I've set up the RSSI channel, which was disabled, to aux5, and you can see aux5 had the maximum reading. I have tested this. When I walked away from the quad, this started to drop, so that is working. And then you need to set that up in the radio itself. Right, let's take the Tina Whoop out for its maiden. I'm going to do line of sight. Oh, there's a lizard. Okay, let's just take a look at the camera before I fire her up. There we go, and you can see the OSD.
Inactivity alarm.
Okay, let me just take my goggles off.
Inactivity alarm.
Place them there carefully. Okay, let's do a test flight of this little quad.
Inactivity alarm.
Okay, radio, I understand. Okay.
Angle mode.
Let's take a look. Always step back when you first fire up your new quad.
Armed. Disarm motors.
Okay, you can see what's wrong there.
Disarm motors.
The props are going the wrong way. That was forcing the quad to the ground. Interesting. Okay, back to square one. Okay, let's put the record straight. The motors were going absolutely the correct way. What I did, I put the props on upside down. So when I had the quad upside down and put the props on, I was putting them the wrong way round because they were facing up, and they should have been facing down, so when you turned the quad up the right way, they were going the right way, so it wasn't developing enough thrust, so it wouldn't take off. So anyway, that was my mistake, but this is part of this video. I wanted to show you me setting it up, and you know, setting up a quadcopter it's not just straightforward as plugging your receiver in. There are bits and pieces you have to learn, but it's not difficult, so don't give up on it, just go for it. But you just learn by getting things wrong or by mistakes. Okay, let's have a look at the footage where I managed to get the Diatone Tina Whoop to fly. Right, okay, let's try again with the props on the right way.
Angle mode. Armed.
There we go, that's better. Oh, jeez. Okay, what I did was, of course, I put the props on upside down because they're pushing. They need to be facing the direction that they're going to thrust. So I caused myself a little bit of confusion there. Ah, that seems quite nice. I think because I'm a beginner, then you don't actually want anything that's too powerful so that you can get used to it. And it's not too noisy, which is nice, because my Taycan is very noisy. But yeah, this is looking nice. There's a bit of a breeze today. Okay, so I'll be able to practice my FPV flying with this. Okay, let's just punch her out. Oh yeah, she goes up. Prop wash. Anyway, there we go. Okay, I'm not sure how long I can fly this for. I haven't set up the battery warnings. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Once you get the props on the correct way. Yeah, the breeze is taking it at the moment. I think I'm just going to land and just check my battery. Okay, that's probably it. I wouldn't have thought I'd be able to fly more than a couple of minutes. But that's great. See, the wind's pushing it. But it's nice and quiet. I'll be able to go and fly down the trees and try a bit of racing. I don't know if it'd be aerobatic. Going to horizon mode. Let's try it. Whoa! Don't know if you saw that on the video. There you go. Okay, let's bring her down. Very nice. That is very nice. And just get the props correct. Remember, the props need to face upwards. Thanks for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you really enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below, because I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Happy flying. Bye for now. Bye bye.